Yes, guys, welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Whenever you're watching this video, hope you've had a good day, whenever it may be. And we are here live. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, get in the comment section, whether it's on the live or the replay. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, we're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. First of all, many apologies for the lateness. Only an hour late. But no, in all seriousness, I got held up in something really important and couldn't get back on the channel in time. So thank you to everyone who has returned. But let's get into the main stories tonight. We've got a few, and there has been some breaking news that actually Kevin has put in the chat right now as well, which we're going to talk about a little bit further because we like all these news stories. And yeah, let's get into it. PSR, we spoke about yesterday on stream that we are 7 days away from that 30th of June deadline. It's 6 days and counting today. Should we be panicking? Who knows? But the news that has come out is the following. Jacob Ramsey, potential sacrificial lamb. And I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail. And the reason why this one could have some fruition is because of what happened with Elliot Anderson and Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go into that story. Emi Martinez, could his move to Manchester United be blocked by Onana? It looks like someone's going to have to move and, play a little bit of come and get me style as well, because Onana seems locked in at Manchester United. And just coming through in the last half an hour or so, Aston Villa apparently, I believe, to be trying to make way for Dendoncker, Louis Barry, and Kane Kesler-Hayden by the 30th of June to hopefully rely on the PSR situation. And if it is true about Dendoncker, Kesler-Hayden, and Louis Barry, then the reported 15-20 million of PSR money that needs to be made up is a more accurate number than the 50 million what has been touted around. But big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure you're smashing the life out of that like button for me and all that good stuff. And hope everyone as well. And great to see all of you in here. Let's get into the Jacob Ramsey story then, which is probably where we're going to start. We'll then go on to the 3 players that I've mentioned, and we'll end on Emi Martinez. That will be the layout of our show, I reckon, tonight. And who wants to buy Onana? Yeah, but I think is absolutely it's worse than that. To buy Onana, you've got to be crazy, and that's the problem that Manchester United, I think, are going to have here with Andre Onana. So, first of all, good evening and good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching. Let's get into the first article. I need to cancel that because I need to actually go to the top. So I was reading this one just before we were coming live, just to further my point. So here it is, Jacob Ramsey, and it is the term, and it's interesting, a well-known commentator, Ian Darker, if you remember the name, has actually said this statement. He said this: Jacob Ramsey to be sacrificial lamb amid Aston Villa PSR latest. And this is an exclusive this is Villa News speaking to Ian Darker, however you want to spell it. You know, the commentator that I'm on about. Yeah, that stuff. Well, he has actually gone on to say the following. Now, not saying he's, got the in or the know-how as such, but he says the following, that obviously we all know that Jacob Ramsey is going to ease our PSR problem, but doesn't necessarily change much on the wage bill because he's on 70k a week. But where he has had injuries and has struggled for game time, especially when Marcus Rashford's come in, and Villa, of course, linked to a few left wingers already in this window with Igor Paxiao in the mank of everything, Jacob Ramsey could still not be cementing a regular first-team spot at Aston Villa. And we have seen this. Now, a report from Athletic claims that Villa have a 50 million deficit in their accounts. Well, we potentially have uncovered that's not true tonight. We actually, the more I look at the news, I reckon it's a 20 million deficit. Iconic commentator Ian Dark believes that Ramsey could be the man who is allowed to leave in order to make that happen. Speaking exclusively to the news, he said, well, Jacob Ramsey is a player that they have loved, so you would be surprised. Correct. However, this is where it got me thinking. It does says, but then we are surprised by quite a few things, aren't we, with this PSR thing? I don't think Newcastle ever wanted to let Elliot Anderson go to Nottingham Forest, but they kind of had to. There is sometimes a sacrificial lamb. Pure profit as a kid, it would be a little bit sad, That is the kind of where we have got to with all the financial constraints that we are wrapping the clubs in these days. So the Elliot Anderson situation is a really interesting one, and I'm going to sort of go to that one. Look, again, does this guy have any source or any merit in what he's saying? No, absolutely. He's not a Fabrizio. He's not a David Ornstein. He's not an Aston Villa official account. But what I can say is the following, is that he is absolutely spot on with the Elliot Anderson situation. Elliot Anderson did not want to leave Newcastle United. He lives and breathes the club. It was everything. And he found it very hard to play against them this season. But needs must, Newcastle, for PSR reasons, sold him to Forest. But believe it or not, he's gone on for Forest and done very well. He's in the England under-21 setup that is in the quarterfinals of the is it the semi-finals? The semi-finals of the under-21 tournament. So Elliot Anderson's career has been not bad at all. But it does make sense. Sometimes there is that sacrificial lamb. And what we mean by that is really, we don't want to let you go, but for the greater good, for the best of the team, for the best of our finances, for the best of the club, it's got to be you. And there's always been these rumours about Jacob Ramsey. The Ramsey rumours never, ever disappear. Never disappear. And just going to put on stage as well, Jacob Ramsey this season, 46 appearances, 4 goals, 7 assists. I think the assists carry and help Ramsey a little bit more. Because that goal ratio for a wide player definitely could be something that could be improved, couldn't it? And again, an overall GA of 11 in 46, you would, find that difficult. I believe, and I'm going to stand this in there, I don't know if we're ever going to see the best of Jacob Ramsey. I don't know if we are waiting for something to happen that isn't there. I fear that he's the type of player who will never be able to shake injuries. And I feel like Jacob Ramsey is if he's going to stay at Villa, it has to be this season. It has to be this season that he really plays a full season. We get good returns, and he absolutely cements that left-hand side down. Now, let's see what happens with him. Right now, I don't see Jacob Ramsey leaving. I don't think we are in as much trouble as people think we are, which is good, which is really good. And that's where I'm coming to, is that maybe this report of £50 million is all cod bollocks, crap, nonsense. And if it's only 20 million, players like Jacob Ramsey don't need to go. So I'm pretty sure Villa keep Ramsey and we find another left winger to back him up. But Kevin, big up to Michael who's joining, said Kevin said, I wouldn't compare Newcastle with Villa as regards the Ramsey situation. No. Well, Newcastle and Forest both have PSR constraints. Remember, the 4 clubs that are PSR riddled are Villa, Newcastle, Forest, Everton. And Chelsea were, but they've got out of it massively. But we're the 4 clubs. So at that time, Elliot Anderson had to go for a shrewd PSR move. Very similar to our Lewis Dobbins, Amari Kellemans, etc. So there we go. We aren't Newcastle United. Just because they had to doesn't mean we do. Maybe we have better people in charge. And that's the hopeful thing, isn't it, James, as well? That we're smart enough to know that maybe, just maybe, Jacob Ramsey's the man. Now, Bongo's right. Again, if we were to get rid of Ramsey, we've got to then upgrade again and find probably 2 left wingers, which is absolutely spot on. Yes, we need to sell Ramsey. He's from the academy, so surely we could sign someone to buy him 20 mil. And I think that would be the price. I think if Jacob Ramsey was to go, I think we're looking at 25, 30 million for the player, which all considering isn't bad. But my personal opinion is Ramsey will stay put. He isn't going to be needed to be the sacrificial lamb. But what I would say is that the fact we're having this conversation around Jacob Ramsey suggests to me still he's got a lot to do to cement that Aston Villa status as a regular. At the moment, if you are going to pick your strongest Aston Villa 11, does Jacob, and this is a question for the chat right now and then on replay, does Jacob Ramsey get into your best Aston Villa 11 right now? Like, do you say, if you're picking the game, if you're picking the team for the first game against Newcastle, with the current squad and situation, does Jacob Ramsey start on the left for you if everyone's fully fit? Probably for me, current squad, I'd probably say yes. I'd actually probably say yes. I'd say with the current squad that we have, I would say Jacob Ramsey starts on that left wing for me. Now, when I really sit back, and if you want my, as some people say in the chat, I can be like that, a pessimist sometimes when it comes to Villa. When I say that, I'm not happy. It actually makes me feel like, oh, Jacob Ramsey for me would be a good backup player with some good on the bench, but to be a guaranteed starter right now, is that going to be Champions League worthy? Do I need to see more of Jacob Ramsey? And I absolutely think that 4 goals, 7 assists is certainly that way. So listen, let's wait and see on that one. Let's wait and see. Let's hope and pray Villa don't have to get rid of one of their best young talents as such. But I'm also going to say that if Jacob Ramsey does say, I want to see a bit more from him. I want to see a better return from him. So, yeah, it's all on him. It's a squad game now, not about the starting 11, but finishing game strong. Exactly. I think that Jacob Ramsey completely bolsters Villa's squad. But what, for me, he isn't quite is that glistening gem. Now, that's why Marcus Rashford dismantled Jacob Ramsey's game time straight away. Rashford comes in, bosh, that's his place. So, percentages-wise, I reckon the chance of Jacob Ramsey leaving this window, I'm going to put it at 35, 40%. Would you sell him or would you not? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Would you sell Jacob Ramsey? Yes or no? Would you sell Jacob Ramsey? Give me what your thoughts are on that. We've got a few coming in already. 29 appearances, 1 goal, injury prone, flogging for 25 mil. There we go. James said it's a squad game now, not about the starting 11, but finishing games strong. It's very true. That's about the women's team. Ramsey has done nothing in 2 seasons. There's some point to that, Marzi. Yeah, he starts, but he's a squad player. Part of the 16 for me. I would not sell him, so Bozzy's keeping him. Andy said, I don't think we sell anyone before end of June. Probably announce name rights on the ground. There's been a lot of talk about that as well. Brain says yes, he's selling them. And Michael said no, won't get rid of him. Yes, and get Grealish on loan, says Bongo Bongo. How much to replace him? That's a good point. I mean, the talk of Igor, again, Pachau, I think his name is, the Feyenoord winger. There's talk of him being 30, 35 mil. So there we go. Wouldn't cry if he went, to be honest, says Door. Alan says, Emery loves Ramsey, can't see Emery letting him go. Exactly that. And Stephen says, if we get the right money, then sell 100%. So, yeah, good to know your opinions. Love to see it. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for all of that. So big up to each and every single one of you. Right, let's go on to the next story that's just come through, which is about, of course, the 3 potential solutions to Villa selling and making this PSR deadline. Where is my little post that I was having? There it is. Okay. This is what it's all about. Sport OP. Yeah, Rodgers' numbers absolutely destroys JJ's 100%. JJ's got to do more. Aston Villa are prepared to sell Leander Dendoncker, Louis Barry, and Kane Kessler-Hayden before the end of the month to help ease PSR problems. Okay, so what am I aware of some of these situations? I'm aware that Kane Kessler-Hayden, first and foremost, Kane Kessler-Hayden, £3 million to Middlesbrough. That's one of the rumours going around. Very strong links. £3 million, Kane Kessler-Hayden to Middlesbrough. Fair enough. But that's not near the 20 million PSR solution. Louis Barry. The last thing I heard on Louis Barry, ironically, was that he was going to the Blue Noses. Now, whether anyone's heard anything different, but I would hate to feel and see Louis Barry go. But how funny would it be if the Blues actually help us with PSR problems? We'll take your money, Tom Brady. Thanks for coming. The biggest problem is the donkey. A, he's on lots of wages. B, he's crap. C, Anderlecht was so disappointed in him that they don't even want to bring him back. And D, he's crap. Again, Thanks, Stephen Gerrard. You've absolutely effed us over with this one. Dendonka's a problem. Dendonka is a problem. We'll be lucky if we get... Well, if Kes Layden's 3 mil, I reckon we'll be lucky to get a 5 mil for Donkey. I can't see how we get rid of him. I mean, we basically had to ask Coutinho to terminate his contract. God knows what we do with the Donkey. God knows what we do with the Donkey. But Anderlecht were literally like, we'll have him on loan, see how he goes. Oh, sugar, we've had him on loan. He's absolute crap. We don't want him. So, issues there. So, although this is like okay, PSR problem solved, there we go. In the chat right now, if you had to evaluate those 3 players, how much do you think we'll make him? How much do you think we'll make him? Louis Barry's the big one. Can we flog Louis Barry to someone as an overpriced, overpaid player? I would love your thoughts and feelings and emotions on that one. Can we get rid of Louis Barry for 10 mil? Something crazy like that. Something crazy like 10 million for Louis Barry. Sell him, flog him, con someone, do something. But I would love to know the total on what you guys think. Michael said 10 million between the 3 of them, at least 15 for Buendia, and I bet that would solve PSR. Agree? I'm hoping Leeds will come in and pay the money for Buendia. Villa said 25 million. Wow. Okay. 25 million tops for all 3 combined. Geez, I'm thinking lower. Do you know what? Maybe I'm being ruthless, but I reckon these guys struggle. All right, I reckon these guys struggle to make more than 12 mil combined. Kesler Hayden's price is 3 million. So Kesler Hayden's price is 3 million. So how, some of you got 10 million, 20 million between Dendonka and Barry's massive. What do we do? What do we do? Louis Barry's the one. Let's actually see if there's any Louis Barry rumors. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a look. Yeah, everyone's saying in the thing around 10 million. Right, Louis Barry. Let's go straight to Louis Barry. Let's see any rumors on Louis Barry. Louis Barry. Barcelona's academy. Okay, this one's weird that's just come up. Stoke City. Hypothetically, would you allow Sol Sidibe, who is actually the guy that we are linked to, the youngster, to join Aston Villa for 10 million and bring in Kane Kesler Hayden and or Louis Barry for the same price to balance FFP? That could be a deal. That happens. Another dodgy dealing. So there's one Louis Barry rumor going around. But yeah, I want to see who else he's linked to. Louis Barry. Stoke won him. But yeah, I can't see the Birmingham City. Wonder if he does get a good championship deal. So Louis Barry, of course, spent time on loan at Hull and Stockport last season. So Louis Barry playing for Hull in the championship. He has got that sort of championship pedigree. If we could get him to a championship side for 5 mil, it would be good. But yeah, there's going to be loads of Louis Barry rumours around. Rangers is another club that's come up. Pompey won him. So yeah, League One and Championship baller Louis Barry. That's what we're looking at with him. So yeah, 50 million tops, I think says no, yeah. Stephen says, time we pay off Donkey and Hayden and more money we make, money from Barry will be used up anyway. I just want to know what Louis Barry's rough price tag is. So let's think worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, okay, then Dendonka, Barry, and Kesler Hayden accumulate 10 million. Okay, someone in the chat, I can't remember who, said maybe the sell of Buendia. We've also got the likes of Buendia, Moreno, another one that we're probably looking to go to Real Betis or Leeds. And then I'm not going to lie, the one player that people keep forgetting is Leon Bailey. Still think Leon Bailey is someone who's 100% leave him. Just don't know when, how, why, what, etc., etc. So let's see what happens. Let's go on and dream big. But yeah, maybe PSR won't be a problem. Maybe PSR. But yeah, let's go on to then the next story. But yeah, I want to have a quick look. Is there any Dendoncker rumors? Dendoncker, I know that Anderlecht absolutely. I mean, he's getting ridiculed online. 50p, the chat saying. Yeah, it's actually funny. Like the Dendoncker slander is terrible. Feel quite bad for him actually. Yeah, he's getting bad slander, old Dendoncker. He's getting old slander. So let's find it. Actually, getting rid of Dendoncker is probably going to be our hardest challenge. But yeah, let's see what goes on in the next few days. Then see how quick those sales accelerate, and hopefully you'll be able to report on that one. Right, let's go to the Emi Martinez news. Blackpool after Dendoncker for beach rights. I would say Kane Kessler did more to prove his value. I think Kane Kessler Hayden is the one who we absolutely 100%. I mean, look, he cleaned up all the awards at Preston North End last season. He cleaned up all the awards at Preston North End. Louis Barry showed that he could score goals at Stockport County. I just think, PSR reasons will be okay. Right. Have a look at this then and see your thoughts on this. So let me quickly sum it up. We've had a lot of problems with Emi Martinez, as you know. The biggest hope we have for Emi Martinez of recent times, or the strongest link, was Manchester United. The big problem at Manchester United is Andre Onana doesn't want to go. Now, there was a report that got everyone excited, which is that AS Monaco were going to come in and sign Andre Onana. But guess what? It's all a load of BS. Second of all, Andre Onana, AS Monaco have been busy. I don't know if you've seen, but AS Monaco are getting in Ansu Fati and Paul Pogba. So AS Monaco are in the market, but certainly not for Onana. However, this article came up today, again, talking about how Emi Martinez is basically having his path blocked by Onana himself. And I will keep probably regurgitating this story in the sense of Emi Martinez's transfer situation does actually depend on there being a gap in the market for a number one goalkeeper. Currently, in world football, especially in Europe, there is not many markets. There was talks again the other day of Atletico Madrid, Jan Oblak, potentially going to Saudi, but not really. Barcelona sorted out their goalkeeper. It's all this. But I've always felt, and I will be strong here on this one, I've always felt that Emi Martinez was nothing and has nothing to do with our PSR reasons and situations. I think there is something deeper with Emi. I think there is something bigger than Emi, and I don't think it was ever the fault of PSR. There's been some crazy little rumours there. I'm going to go to the first rumour that came out today. Again, not sure how much I like this. And then I'm going to go to the article. I'm not sure how much I like this one about Emi. But here we go as following. Where is it? There's been a lot of Amadou Onana. Here we go. This one. This one. Let me show you this. What do you all think of this? Again, how true it is, I'll work that out in a minute. But it says this. Manchester United have had dialogue with the representatives of Emi Martinez since the start of the year. That's crazy if true. Hence why I've been saying this Emi Martinez transfer situation doesn't smell of PSR to me. It smells more of a personal decision from Emi himself. This feels like it was Emi Martinez's decision to leave Villa. With Villa sort of going, damn, did I just call him Amadou? Do I keep getting my Onanas mixed up? Damn, my bad. A pursuit hinges on the future of Andre Onana. And that's where we're going to with this. It's all on Andre Onana. But that part there, EFL published about Louis Barry. No, regurgitate the story, I already know. It's all strange, as Kevin's saying, but I don't like that they've been talking since the start of the year. If true is what I should put out there. If true. Maybe my one thing that I would say that maybe throws a doubt on that is, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, Emi Martinez has changed agents and gone with Jorge Mendes. I'm pretty sure Jorge Mendes wasn't his agent at the start of the year. Now, if I'm wrong on that, then let me know. But I thought Jorge Mendes only recently was teamed up with Emi Martinez. So what I'm trying to say is that story a little bit of BS? Or have they still spoken to Emi's old agent, or Emi himself, or Emi's family, or someone related to Emi? And with that in mind, then, why have they been talking at the start of the year? So, yeah, I'm not looking at this as a PSR. I'm looking at this as a normal transfer of a player who wants something different in life, and see what happens. Bozzy said his wages are probably double. That's the main pool. I get that. It's AVFC said it's almost as if United are a bigger draw than Villa, despite not having European football offers. Crazy, I know. It's all strange. It's all strange. But he's going. He's going, and I think this is paved out. So it lies down to, basically, can Manchester United find a suitor for Andre Onana? Well, after the season that Andre Onana's had, it's going to be pretty hard to sell him. It's going to be pretty hard to sell him. It's going to be pretty hard to convince someone that this guy is going to be a number one goalkeeper and he's worth every penny. So let me show you this article here, because Andre Onana has spoken. By the way, people, big up to each and every single one of you. We've got 90 of you in the house. Let's get the likes up to 50. I would massively appreciate that. And yeah, do share the stream as well. So it says here, Emi Martinez transfer twist as Manchester United path blocked. Okay, by John Towley, Aston Villa correspondent. This is from John Towley today. Onana doesn't want to leave. That's part of the problem as well. Andre Onana doesn't want to leave. It says Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana is reportedly keen to stay at the club and prove himself as the team's number one. Wow. And yeah, I'd love to know how and what this guy's smoking. To think that he could be the number one at Manchester United, I don't know, people. I don't know. Yeah, it's all weird with Emi Martinez. It all is. Big up to Noel Kane. Thank you. He says, congrats to Rich Sports breaking channel record on Red Devils United channel. Yes. Well, what is the record he broken? But yeah, I've seen he's doing very well. And as a Villa fan, who we've been linked with Manchester United and this whole Emi thing, and even Ollie Watkins, I've been keeping an eye on his shows and seeing what he's saying as well. So yeah, big up to him. Alan said, don't think we could give Dendoncker away. Hayden Barry worth 5 minutes, but Andrea 12 to 50 million. I think Bailey, yeah, Bailey's definitely been sold as well, in my opinion. I agree on that one, Alan. Right. The Cameroon's international future is said to be a key factor in whether Manchester United pursue a move for Emi Martinez. While the club holds an interest in Martinez, any potential transfer would depend on Onana leaving. Something about Brian Mbeumo here. The Mirror reports that Onana wants to remain at Old Trafford and demonstrate why he deserves to be the club's first choice goalkeeper. His future was called into question earlier this week when Monaco made an inquiry about his situation, potentially with a view to transfer. Crazily, Onana joined United from Inter Milan 47.2 million 2 years ago, but has struggled to impress during his first couple of seasons at the club. 47.2 for him. Wow. Currently on holiday, Onana gave a cryptic response when asked if he might leave this summer. Will I leave? I don't know. We'll see. Classic footballer, cryptic response. So it says this. According to the Athletic, Onana has even been in contact with Cameroon teammate Brian Mbeumo regarding a possible move to United from Brentford. Martinez, meanwhile, is reportedly open to join United, and his representatives have already held talks with the club. He is not considering a move to Saudi Arabia at this stage of his career and would prefer to stay in Europe. So a lot of what we already know, but I think that the point summed up is, unless we start seeing more concrete rumours about Andre Onana, then Emi's staying. As weird as that sounds. But I also think if Emi stays and all this noise is true, that he's been talking to Manchester United since the start of the year, his head is slightly turned, he was emotional at Villa Park. If he stays, you do have to wonder and question, is that what he wants? Are we going to get a focused Emi Martinez? Are we going to get a goalkeeper who's completely committed to the cause? He is a goalkeeper as well who seeks psychological mentoring and help and therapy. He's actually come out and said that, and he's needed that. And so my only concern is that as great as it would be to keep Emi Martinez, we've got to make sure that we've got a fully functioning, fully working, fully focused Emi. And that's why, if all this noise is rubbish, I don't get why he's not shut it down. We have this weak but strong rumour that his wife tried to shut it down and say that, no, I've got this shop and we're staying. And this reporter who he did an interview with basically said that. But aside from that, it's not been shut down enough for me. And that's where I'm probably going, come on, what's going on here? So, God, I didn't even think about that, Bozzy. If Emi does stay, he is banned for the first 3 games of the season anyway, so who's playing goal for us anyway at that point? I didn't even think of that. That's actually a very good point. Emi has had his head turned by United. It's a problem for us if he stays and isn't fully committed. And exactly my thoughts, feelings, and emotions around it. And I'll say it again, if Emi stays, please make sure it's an Emi that is fully focused and committed to Aston Villa Football Club. So what I will be doing is I'll be keeping a very strong and keen eye on Andre Onana, rumours, transfers online. I'll be looking in on that. AS Monaco came in and they got bashed away within 24 hours. So I think Emi has shut off Saudi, which I'm happy with. I'm glad that he's actually taken the decision to go, you know what? I want to stay in Europe. I don't want to have a mockery. And I actually thought about this today. I think a lot of players are hesitant to go to Saudi Arabia now, especially this season, because it's a World Cup year. I think a lot of players have realised that sometimes if you go to Saudi Arabia, your international countries aren't interested in you. So that's a big one. That's a massive one. That's something that I probably would back Emi why he's not going to Saudi. But overall, he's one of those who, for me, 100% is still looking for that move out. So if you don't want to stay, someone show him the door. We're going to wrap up. As I said, there's not too much to speak about today. As I said, we've had the Ramsey stuff, we've had the Emi Martinez stuff. Love you. But the biggest thing I would probably say is, what are we going to look out for? We've got fight tomorrow, comes to 5 days left. 5 days to PSR deadline. If rumours are true, we should be seeing Dendoncker, Barry, and Kessler-Hayden gone. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And we're still waiting for the magic hat. We're still waiting for the rabbit out the hat. The Aston Villa women's football team rebranding the stadium. Something else. I'm waiting for it. So I think we can sleep easy before the 30th of June that we're not going to lose a big player. But I think we're going to see some movement now starting to accelerate. And probably what's the most pleasing thing is I don't think it's the 50 million reported fee that it got everyone scared and worried. So hopefully we can shut up rival fans who keep telling us that we're in trouble and they can come hunt and poach off us, and we can just get on with our business and enjoy, life as Villa fans. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. As I said, apologies for it being a later one tonight, but still great turnout, and thank you for so much. As always, just the house admin as you leave, make sure you get your notification bell turned on. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. And yeah, as always, if you want your comments to be heard, then you can comment straight after the stream in the comment section and do that. Tomorrow, I will be looking potentially to doing a watch-along. I think that's the plan. England under 21s are playing, but it's a slightly earlier kickoff than that. It's 8 o'clock one, so we may look to do England under 21s tomorrow. That will be on Big Up. So if you fancy the watch along, you know where to be. on that, and I'll share that stuff around. But yeah, as I said, let's stay tuned, let's stay put, hold tight. I'm actually not worried. First time today, I'm sort of sat here going, do you know what, this PSR stuff? I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. So there we go. What I am going to do then is say tell out. I'm going to redirect. Let's do it to there, and big up to Never Foul. And yeah, appreciate it, Noel. As always, we should sign Chevalier and Emi as our number 2. Imagine if we made Emi our number 2, that would be madness. All talk, is anyone putting an offer? No, no story. Exactly. But we got to talk about something. People, I'm out of it. Up the bloody Villa. Smash the like, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff, and enjoy your Tuesday night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Come rain or shine, we'll be there. Ta-da!